You world, it's your boy Halucha Lucha, aka Matthew J. Brown. First, keep the Una Matata means no worries for the rest of your day. I just like this shirt. But anyways, this is a Smackdown breakdown. You know what time it is. I'm doing it early. Look at me go. Right after Smackdown, I'm out here breaking down the Smackdown. Um, yeah, I don't do my reviews. My reviews will come this Sunday when I review NXT Takeover 31. Um, this show was really good for what it was. It's good matches in there, and then we're breaking and there's some stuff for to lead into next week for the draft, and they probably might start. That's probably when they're gonna do their reset and stuff like that. They'll probably finish after Hell in a Cell, and then from there, that's when they probably will most likely get to those big storylines going into Survivor Series, Rumble, and then ultimately WrestleMania. How good was SmackDown? Well, that's why I'm here with my handy dandy notebook, uh, and we will talk about it. This is Smack Talk, the good, the bad, and the fiendish tendencies. All right, let's talk about it. First up, uh, Roman Reigns comes out. They do their they're pretty much like they do the video package like what happened at a Clash of Champions when Roman Reigns demolished J Uso and then Jimmy had to come in and throw in a towel and all of stuff. And so he comes out with Paul, and Paul is pretty much just talking about Roman Reigns. I think they're gonna coordinate him as tribal chief or whatever. And Roman said, "Nah, we're not doing this right now." It's like, see, you call me tribal chief. The guy's brother called me tribal chief, but the one specific person did not call me tribal chief. So I need him. I need for him to call me. This is what I need for him to do. So he asked Jay to come out. Jay comes out, and he pretty much was like, "Yo, this isn't my cousin. This isn't Roman Reigns. This isn't the one I loved growing up. How we grew up. Or this isn't the same guy that I knew." He was like, "Yeah, Clash of Champions, you beat me, but if Jimmy wouldn't have thrown in the towel, I would be wearing that Universal Championship." Because I mean, to be fair, I mean, I ain't gonna hold you. Roman speared Jay twice, and he ate those spears. He was just up laughing. So I mean, maybe Roman needs a new finisher because he speared him twice and he ate those spears. He was coughing a little bit, but he ate those spears. He was like, nah, he's laughing at him. So maybe he has a point. You never know. But Roman pretty much was talking about how much how he loved Jay and then how like he loves the family, and he was like, all I wanted this to do was for me and my cousin to headline a pay-per-view, for you to get your payday, for us to have a good time, and at the end of the day we still boys and all that stuff, but instead you disrespected me, you disrespected the family because you didn't want that. You wanted more than that. He was look, even right now, he's like, you're not even looking at me. You're looking at the championship. He's like, you know what? You want championship? You want another shot at this? Okay, fine. That's what you want. That's what you want, cuz. Hey, you're my cousin. I love you. You get another shot. He said, but if you get another shot, uh, the rules at Hell in a Cell is gonna be a little different. So I don't know if you really want. So he like gets off the mic and I think he like hugs him or he gets really close to him and he whispers to him like a little bit, and he pretty much says, this is gonna be unlike anything at Hell in a Cell. I advise you not to take it." And he goes out, he leaves with Paul, and then he was like, "Hey, no," and then Jay was like, "Hey, Oos, uh, don't matter what the stipulation is you're on." And then Roman like smirks a little bit, and he walks off. This was fantastic. Um, I thought that Roman Reigns was gonna murder Jay at Clash of Champions. Seems that they're gonna do the proper burial at Clash of Champions. I'm here for it. Roman's going to murder. murder Jay, and it's gonna be great. He's gonna make him bleed. He's gonna kill him. It's gonna be fantastic. I can't wait to see it. And then after that, by the way, A plus. That was just fantastic. Anyways, after that, AJ Styles comes out and he's like, and I was like, oh, AJ Styles. I was like, we about to get AJ Styles versus J Uso, and of course, we got AJ Styles versus J Uso. He comes out. He was like, hey, who cares about the tribal chief? Just call him tribal chief. It doesn't matter who puts who on who sacrifices what to what. He was like, hey, maybe you should just give up that title and give it to somebody who deserves it. Of course, he runs him down, and then Jay beats him up a little bit, and they start the match after commercial break. This match was fantastic. This match was okay. I say fantastic a lot. This match was very good, like really really good. I said it before on in a group that AJ Styles is like he's just as it says phenomenal. The guy can have a match with a paper towel and it probably bring it to like a 4-star match. Like AJ Styles is legitimately one of the greatest competitors of this generation. He's one of the best wrestlers of this generation, and really to put somebody over like Jey Uso, who's coming into his own. He's getting some wins. He's doing his thing. Just cements it, this much more to help Jay. Even though Jay's gonna lose, like he's not gonna win at Hell in a Cell, but you keep giving him wins, and then even after that loss, after he dies and come back, maybe, he get in like another title picture. Maybe he could get in a IC title picture for a little bit until his brother comes back. That'd be cool. But yeah, this match was really good. I like the ending of the finish. How AJ was about to go for a phenomenal forearm, but he goes on the top rope and then Jay kicks him off, and then he kicks him again. One final kick to the face before he gets a Uso splash for the win. I would give this match a B plus. It was really really good. AJ Styles is of course amazing. His timing is great. The back and forth between them was really good, and I really hope that Jay gets more one-on-one opportunities for the weeks to come, even up to Hell in a Cell and after Hell in a Cell. I hope he gets more one-on-one matches. That's the thing I like between with him and Big E is like you see these guys in tag team matches so many times. It was like you forget like they're wrestlers. They can actually wrestle one-on-one type matches, and it's great that they get these one-on-one matches. Uh, After that, oh, I don't even want to talk about this. Well, first of all, they did the ladder match recap and they did a Sami Zayn promo, who was facing Jeff Hardy later for the Intercontinental Championship. He pretty much was saying that, look, this is what he was like. I should normally be happy, but I'm not because instead of mad, it's like I'm not even mad at management right now. I'm mad at everybody else because you guys fed into this fake AJ Styles tournament, this fake tournament that AJ Styles won, and you fed into Jeff Hardy who beat the fake champion AJ Styles, and you went all along with the sham when I was rightful Intercontinental Champion. Like it's a sham that I had to even defend this championship. But now, as I did, I am rightful Intercontinental Champion. This championship that was on the shoulder of AJ Styles and Jeff Hardy does not count, and it belongs in trash. Alondra Blaze, Medusa style, and he throws in trash. So that was good stuff. Which was not good stuff was these next two segments that I'm gonna talk about, and I don't care about them. Morrison, if anything was bad about the show, it was just these next two things back to back. Morrison had a match with Otis. The only good thing that I wrote that I found was funny was Otis is having doing a representation. He's representing himself because he doesn't believe in the trash lawyers, and that Cole called Johnny, said that Johnny Drip Drip. He said Johnny Drip Drip has dried up. I thought that was semi funny. But this match lasted like 2 minutes, and Otis won with the Caterpillar followed by the Vader Bomb. Nice. And then after that, there was another match between Sheamus and Shorty G. Again, the match was short. Sheamus tried to attack Shorty G. He rolled out. He hit him maybe with the German suplex. and then he got met with a bro kick followed by another bro kick. And during that, before that, Big E had he cut like a picture in picture promo, and he was saying that the draft is coming up, so he doesn't know whenever he's gonna have another time to beat Sheamus up because he might get drafted to Raw. Or Sheamus could be. So he said next week I challenge you to a Falls Count Anywhere match, which he accepted. I guess he accepted. But yeah, those two like matches were really short. So I didn't care about them. They were just there for no reason. You could have just at least did like a tag team match or something like that. But yeah, that they were both trash, and that was the waste of parts of SmackDown. Um, After that, oh, back to good stuff. Back to the good stuff. Kevin Owens is backstage. He's rocking a Street Profits shirt, which is cool. By the way, in the beginning of that one segment, the first segment, Roman's sneakers are fire. I like those sneakers that he had on. But KL he was doing some preparations for Kevin Owens, for Kevin Owens show with the lady. He has some cue cards. He's about to go out, and then like Firefly Funhouse like behind him like starts like making the staticky thing like that. So his guest is Alexa Bliss. They're pretty much just talking about uh his he said he's a Raw superstar, but he's been interested in Alexa Bliss. He's pretty much just wants to get inside the mind of Alexa Bliss, like what's going on, because he says he's having like a similar problem with Aleister Black on Raw. So he's just pretty much just like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's like, what is it about the situation that why are you different, like you used to be this fun bubbly person that I met 5 years ago at the performance center, and now you're not. Alexa Bliss was pretty much was like everybody changes. He's like, hey, you should try changing, and Kevin Owens is like, I mean, I try changing, I try changing for the good because I've done horrible things to people in my past and I've been trying to change. She's like, but we're not talking about me, we're talking about you and your transformation. And then she goes on to pretty much was just saying that um, him. He's like, have you been in contact with him? He's like, he's different. He's not like anybody else. Like when you like he's this mesmerizing thing. Like when you get in touch with him, like your whole back like it goes limb, and like he's both scary and captivating at the same time. And she goes on about the Fiend without really saying his name or mentioning him. And all this time, Kevin Owens is like, okay, I get what we're doing. I see where this is going. We're not talking about Aleister Black. We're talking about the he's here. Where's the Fiend? All right, I'm ready for him. She gets up. He gets up. He gets ready for the Fiend. Of course, Fiend shows up. Mandible Claw, and all the while just Alexa Bliss's face, just looking, just staring at him. Normally, like she used to get scared or frightened and stuff like that. Now she's embracing it. She's just there. She's looking at him while she's doing it. And after Fiend takes out Owens, they kind of look at each other. They hold hands a little bit, and then bleh, that happened. This was fantastic. This was amazing. I give this an A. This was great. Um, Kevin Owens, the Kevin Owens show seems to be like the one show in WWE that they do that always goes well. Like the Alexa Bliss thing, her talk show, Moment of Bliss. That show is a hit or miss. Um, Miss TV is a hit or miss. Dirt Sheet is a hit or miss. Kevin Owens is probably the only show that is worth anything in WWE. And I hope that his match next week with Owens that they announced that I can. I guess I'll just do it now. They announced for next week. They announced Owens versus Fiend, which is pretty cool because it's the Fiend's first match on SmackDown. They announced Sheamus versus Big E in a Falls Count Anywhere match. And they announced one more thing. I'll say that match in a second. But I just hope that he keeps this up, and I hope he goes to SmackDown after this draft. Man, he's freaking amazing. I I love Kevin Owens. Um, but yeah, this segment was great. This is the key. This is how you keep being busy with somebody while Roman Reigns does his thing, and then they eventually meet up together. And Fiend Roman's going to be great at like Rumble or WrestleMania or whenever it happens. Um, oh snap! And I also wrote KO versus Fiend feud, and they're having a match next week, so good on me. Next up is Cesaro, Corbin, and Shinsuke versus Lucha House Party and Riddle. Lucha House Party and Riddle does some weird segment backstage, and Riddle's doing his phases of bro, which is ridiculous. I still hate it. They were talking about where Kalisto is. He was like, he's still in the back masking his ego and stuff like that. It's like we don't care about him. It's about us and whatever. They talk about the draft, whatever. They have the match. The match was fine. It was pretty good. It was decent. The interesting stuff was at the end, really. Kalisto comes to the ring. He's like, "Yo, I was backstage. Why didn't you guys wait for me?" Um, Stuff was breaking loose like it normally does in 6 man tag matches, and Lindsay was about to do something um, to I think he was doing something to Cesaro or somebody. Kalisto gets on the apron. I guess he thinks it's Cesaro, and he like kicks, but it's actually Lince Dorado. Almost cost him the match. Cesaro looks mad. He's like, "What are you doing? Like, why are you out here?" And he turns around. He gets a bro mission from Matt Riddle for the win. So of course, more dissension between Lucha House Party and Kalisto. Matt Riddle. I don't know if he's better off on SmackDown or Raw. Oh man, I guess we'll talk about it. I'll talk about it a little bit after this match because I'm almost done with SmackDown, and so I guess we'll talk about it in a second. Who I think would go to who would fit best at Raw and who would fit best at SmackDown. But Riddle needs to drop this whole thing and just getting that that IC title picture. That's what he needs to do. Next up, the person who is untouchable is Carmella. Surprise, surprise! I've been saying that forever. She said she's coming back as a blonde heel. She's no longer the princess of Staten Island. She's now untouchable. Um, so yeah, she said whether it's going to be Raw or SmackDown, she's coming to be untouchable. And I'm guessing it's been SmackDown since she hasn't been doing any promos on Raw, or and there's been no vignettes of her on Raw. Next up is the Sasha promo. Um, they showed Sasha first, and I think it came to ring, and then it went to commercial. Then it went to Carmella doing a thing, and then Sasha came back out. But she just pretty much just did a she did a promo, and she pretty much said that yeah, you needed me to be the longest reigning blah blah blah, longest reigning champion. You used me, but I'm better than you. She called her a bitch, and then she said next week they're gonna have a match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. This is not gonna end well for Sasha Banks. So that's the third match that they announced with Sasha Banks versus Bayley for SmackDown Women's Championship. Um, and then main event: Sami Zayn versus Jeff Hardy for Intercontinental Championship. This was a good match. I enjoyed it. They have very good chemistry together. They're both injured from of course the ladder match. So of course Jeff Hardy uh, was working on Sammy's ribs because his ribs was taped. Um, Sammy was being his normal sly self. He unbuckled the turnbuckle during the commercial break, so nobody knew. So when he saw it, everybody was like, "Where did that come from? Like, how did that happen?" And then they went to commercial from commercial. It was like, "Oh, Sami Zayn did that," and it was kind of funny on the commentary where Corey Graves was like, "Oh man, I expect that from for somebody like Jeff Hardy, but I didn't expect that from the great liberator Sami Zayn." And of course, he called him a cheater or whatever like that. But yeah, there was just good again, like the first match, good solid back and forth match between these two. These two have good chemistry. Um, of course, he retains. Sami Zayn retains because he wins on Sunday. There's no way, unless your name is um, Zack Ryder, will you just win the title and then lose it, or unless your name is Sasha Banks as well. But yeah, good retention for him. It comes where they're towards the end of that turnbuckle, and uh, he's trying to Irish whip Jeff to the turnbuckle. Jeff is not trying to have any of that. And then he goes for a whisper in the wind. He pulls him down. His head hits the turnbuckle. Rev was like, "Oh my god!" Sam is like, "Well, pin him for the three," and it ends. So yeah, that was good stuff. I'm gonna give that about a B plus too. I think that match and the opening match was the two good two good things. The two segments were fantastic. The segment with Sasha was fine too. Uh, you can live without the John Morrison Otis and Shorty G Sheamus match. Like if you just took that part out of like if you just took that those two segments back to back, if you just took that out the equation, SmackDown would be like an A, just like just a solid A. Like if you would have just did um even if you would have did like John Morrison and Shorty G versus Sheamus and John Morrison and Sheamus versus Shorty G and Otis for whatever reason you wanted to do it. If you would have just did that and just like combined it and had a longer match instead of those two short matches, that would have probably been better than the two matches that you got. It didn't really make any sense, and it wasn't. Well, I guess the Otis match with Morrison made sense, but wasn't wasn't good. But if you would have cut those two things out, I think I think SmackDown would have been like at least an A plus. Um, I'd still give it an A minus, even with those two things there. Those two were like probably the worst things. Actually, let's see, A plus, B plus. B plus. Yeah, B plus. This this would have B plus. It should have been an A show, but it'll probably get a B plus. The segment between the beginning segment and the Fiend Owens stuff that was A material. The two matches was A material or was B plus material. Close to an A minus, but it's like B plus material because it wasn't long enough. But if they would have kicked it into another gear, that probably would have made it like A minus material. Um, the the Sasha promo was fine. There was nothing wrong with it. It's just that the two segments, those two back to back, and then the Lindsay and the Lucha House Party that match was fine too. Um, I don't think it was like a C plus. So, but yeah, I mean that was pretty much SmackDown, man. It was a solid show. Hyped up some good stuff for next week with the draft and stuff like that. Um, who who could go to Raw and who can go to SmackDown? I don't think the IC and US titles. I don't see those them switching. I don't see Sami going to Raw and and Hurt Business going to SmackDown because of the fact that Hurt Business is feuding with Retribution and he's doing stuff with Ali and them on Raw. Unless only way that could happen is if Bobby Lashley goes to which it won't. It's not gonna happen unless he has a match with like Ali and Ali wins the U.S. title, and then he goes to SmackDown and Sami goes to Raw. That'd be like the only case scenario that could happen, which is not going to happen. I can see AJ Styles going to Raw for Kevin Owens going to SmackDown. I can see Jeff. I can also see Jeff Hardy going to Raw too, but I don't know who they would trade for Jeff Hardy. The question would be who would they trade for Jeff Hardy though? Who's on Raw? Maybe maybe Apollo Cruz. Maybe Apollo Cruz and Ricochet. I'd probably put Apollo Cruz and Ricochet on SmackDown to get so that would like end the thing with her business and them because that's been going too long. You put Jeff on Raw, Jeff and AJ on Raw. You put Owens, Apollo and Ricochet on SmackDown. You do that, and you freshen up the mid card for Bobby Lashley, and like even for guys like AJ Styles. AJ Styles is main eventer. He can face him and Jeff. They're both main eventers. They can face Drew for the WWE Championship, and you give SmackDown more guys for Sami Zayn to face for the Intercontinental Championship if they wanted to. Or yeah, or Kevin Owens himself can be in could be WWE could be in the Universal Championship picture because he's been Universal Champion. So you could give him a thing to do. I don't know if Braun Strowman will go to Raw. Uh, he might stay on SmackDown. So it could be him, Fiend, Owens, Roman. I don't know if they're gonna have what's his name, Daniel Bryan stay on SmackDown, or maybe he'll go to Raw because he hasn't been on TV for a minute. There's plans of Lars Sullivan coming back, maybe, so maybe he can go on Raw and do things or whatever. So the question is, what are they going to do with NXT? NXT is that's the big question. Is are they going to have Undisputed Era go to Raw SmackDown? Are they going to have some people from Raw SmackDown go to NXT? That is the question. But that's been Smack Talk. That's how I view SmackDown. Good stuff overall. What do you guys think? Did you like the show? Let me know. I'll see you guys next time. I'm out.